Have you ever dreamed of working for a big name company, thinking it would solve all your career problems? You're not alone. Studies show that over 70% of workers believe that landing a job at their dream company will bring them happiness and success. But here's the shocking truth. Many employees report feeling unfulfilled and stressed, even in jobs they once longed for. In fact, 1 in 3 workers say they are dissatisfied with their jobs, despite being at a company they once idolized. So, what gives? It turns out that the reality of working for your dream company often doesn't match the fantasy. The glitz and glamour can hide some harsh truths about workplace culture, burnout, and office politics. In this video, we'll uncover the secrets behind those dreamy brands and the struggles many face once they get inside. We'll explore how to navigate these challenges, from managing expectations to recognizing when it's time to move on. Are you ready to see what really happens when you achieve that dream job? Buckle up, it's going to be an eye-opening ride. Chapter 1, The Illusion of the Perfect Job. What they don't tell you: most people think working for their dream company will solve all their career problems. But the truth is, no job is perfect. In fact, studies show that only about 40% of employees are truly engaged at work, even in companies with great reputations like Google or Apple. Why? Because the reality of the job often doesn't match the idealized image people have in their heads. It's easy to get swept up by the perks and prestige. But behind the glamorous offices and free snacks, there's often a ton of pressure and unrealistic expectations. A report by Harvard Business Review found that more than 50% of employees in high-demand companies experience regular stress or burnout. The key is to understand that no company, no matter how amazing it seems, can meet all your needs. Set realistic expectations and remember that career fulfillment comes from your own personal growth, not just the brand name on your business card. Strategy: focus on what you can control instead of putting the company on a pedestal. Focus on how the role helps you grow. What skills are you developing? How does it align with your long-term career goals? Being clear about your objectives will keep you grounded when the reality of the job doesn't match the dream. Chapter 2, The Burnout Trap. When passion turns into pressure, many people think passion will carry them through tough times at their dream job, but that's not always the case. Passion can quickly turn into pressure, especially when you care deeply about the company's mission. In fact, Gallup reports that 2/3 of full-time workers experience burnout on the job, and this can be even more pronounced in companies that demand high levels of commitment from their employees. In environments where people are expected to give their all, you can end up pushing yourself too hard. You might feel like you need to be available 24/7 or constantly prove your worth. But working longer hours doesn't always lead to better results. A study from Stanford University found that productivity drops sharply after working more than 50 hours per week, and it nearly disappears at 70 hours. Strategy: set boundaries early. It's important to set boundaries early on to avoid burning out. Prioritize your well-being. If you're working for a company that constantly pushes you to your limits, learn to say no when necessary. Take regular breaks and recharge so you can perform at your best without sacrificing your mental health. Chapter 3, The Power of Office Politics. Navigating the hidden rules. You might think that working at your dream company means you'll avoid office politics, but that's rarely the case. Even the most prestigious companies have their fair share of behind-the-scenes power dynamics. In fact, studies show that over 50% of professionals believe office politics impact promotions more than actual work performance. Networking and relationship management are key to career advancement, even in your dream job. You'll quickly realize that success isn't just about working hard. You also need to navigate the unwritten rules of the workplace. If you don't play the game, you might find yourself overlooked, no matter how talented or qualified you are. Strategy: build strategic relationships. A great strategy here is to identify key influencers in your workplace. They might not always be at the top of the company, but they have influence and can open doors for you. Build genuine relationships with colleagues across different departments. Don't just network when you need something, invest in connections that will be mutually beneficial over time. Another key is understanding the company's culture and learning how decisions are made. Are promotions based on merit or connections? Once you understand the rules, you can play the game without compromising your values. If you're finding this information valuable, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more insights on career advancement and tips for navigating the workplace. Chapter 4, Climbing the Corporate Ladder. Why talent isn't enough. One of the biggest misconceptions people have when joining a dream company is that talent and hard work will automatically lead to success. The truth? Talent is just one piece of the puzzle. A study by LinkedIn showed that 85% of jobs are filled through networking. This means that, no matter how skilled you are, building relationships is just as important as your abilities. In many large companies, the higher you climb, the less it becomes about your technical skills and more about your leadership and influence. Harvard professor Linda Hill wrote in her book Becoming a Manager that the skills that got you here won't get you there. Essentially, excelling at your current job doesn't mean you're automatically prepared for the next level. If you're aiming for a promotion, it's critical to develop new skills, especially those tied to communication and strategic thinking. Strategy: build your influence to stand out, become known as someone who can connect people and ideas. If you're known as a problem solver who brings teams together, you'll be seen as leadership material. Volunteer for cross-functional projects that give you exposure to other departments. This shows that you're not just focused on your own role but on the bigger picture. Also, make sure your contributions are visible. This doesn't mean boasting, but it does mean you need to make sure decision makers know about the value you're bringing. Sending a regular update to your boss about your team's progress or your individual accomplishments can go a long way. Chapter 5: Culture Shock. When company values don't align with yours, many people dream of working for companies with strong, established cultures. But sometimes, that culture can clash with your own values. Maybe you thought the company's focus on innovation would give you room to be creative, but instead, you find it limits your freedom with strict processes. A Glassdoor study revealed that 56% of employees say company culture is more important than salary when it comes to job satisfaction. When your personal values don't align with the company's, it can be tough to stay motivated. For example, if you value work-life balance but the company glorifies long hours, you may end up feeling frustrated or drained. According to Culture Code by Daniel Coyle, cultures aren't created by words, they're created by behavior. In other words, no matter what the company says about its values, what really matters is how they act day to day. Strategy: adapt or move on first, assess how much of the culture you can adapt to. Some things, like communication styles or office rituals, are easier to adjust to than others. But if the core values of the company don't line up with yours, whether it's around work-life balance, ethics, or management style, you need to think long-term. Is this a deal breaker? If the misalignment is too great, it might be time to consider looking elsewhere. The sooner you make this decision, the better. Don't feel guilty about leaving a dream company if it's not helping you grow in the right way. Your career is a marathon, not a sprint. Chapter 6: Exit Strategy. Knowing when it's time to leave your dream job. Realizing your dream company isn't as dreamy as you thought can be a tough pill to swallow. But sometimes, the smartest career move is to know when to walk away. A Gallup survey showed that 52% of employees said they would leave their current job for a company that offered a better culture or fit, even if it meant a pay cut. Staying at a job that no longer serves you can stunt your career growth. As Jim Collins wrote in Good to Great, good is the enemy of great. Sometimes, we settle for good enough because we're scared of the unknown. But if you're not challenged or growing, you're only holding yourself back. Strategy: plan your exit smartly first, don't make an emotional decision. If you're frustrated or burned out, take some time to cool off and evaluate your options. Start by asking yourself, is there room for growth here? Can I see myself happy and fulfilled in this role a year from now? If the answer is no, it's time to consider your exit strategy. Before you quit, line up another job or have a financial plan in place. Make sure you leave on good terms. Maintaining a professional relationship with your dream company can be beneficial in the long run. You never know when your paths might cross again. When you do leave, frame your departure as a move toward new opportunities, not as an escape from a bad experience. This will keep the door open for future connections. If you enjoyed these insights and want to learn more about making the most of your career journey, don't forget to subscribe. We'll keep bringing you valuable tips and strategies to help you thrive in any workplace.